Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Harihi Om. Hearty greetings to you all on the Independence Day of our nation. Bharat is also known as India in the world. May we always enjoy our political independence rooted in our spiritual independence. This spiritual independence is a theme of the Uddhav Gita, which we have been studying since few days. What is said here, that our Moola Swarupa, absolute nature, is Satchidananda Swarupa. But now, in association with the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, it appears that we have got limitations and bondage. Bhagavan Sri Krishna explained how, with the help of sattva guna, we can overcome the evil effects, binding effects of rajoguna, tamoguna. And that sattva guna should be intensified by living our life in sattva guna in every respect, which he enumerates as 10 factors, beginning with agama up to samskara. Whatever great men praise, that is called sattva. What they can condemn, that is tamas. And something which it is only ignored or indifferent towards that, is called rajas. This sattva guna should be lived until we gain knowledge, we gain devotion, direct realization, and our identification with the anatma vastu, not self, the body, etc., is dropped. That's what is said. So here it was mentioned how the gunas, they play with each other, and how with sattva guna other things to be conquered. So then a question arises, all right, the other will go away, but the sattva guna may remain. And the effects of the gunas also remain there, or the upadhis and all that. What about that then? How it will go? Even though it is said that sattva guna becomes the vishuddha sattva guna and becomes one with the absolute reality only. But now it in a different way, it is said how the gunas react with each other and how everything gets finished. Very beautiful example is given here, the shloka number 7. Venu sangharshajo vanhi dagdva shamyati tadvanam evam gunavyattyajo deha shamyati tat kriyaha. Say, Venu sangharshajo vannihi. Yatha, just as the fire, vanni means fire. Which fire we are talking about here? Venu sangharshaja. Shamyati tadvanam dagdva. A forest is there. See, if one or two trees are standing here and there, it is not called forest. when the dense forest means what? So many trees are standing very close to each other, then that's called a forest. And then many times happens, because of the wind and all, the trees, they rub against each other. We might not have seen that type of thing happening, but it is known that Venu, here Venu means bamboo, but it's trees only, the tree rubbing against each other, then because of that friction, the fire is created. So the trees among themselves only, the fire has come from there, and that fire, tad vanam dagdha, having burned the whole forest. Now and then we do hear about the forest fires. So many places it happens. So in California and here, there, huge fire. They don't know how to put out also. So this wildfire, we heard about it. So having burned that, then shamyati, when the whole fuel is completely burned, even that fire also quietens down. Right? So interesting is, all the trees are there, they rub against each other. From that only the fire is created. And that fire could just burn all the effects, all trees. And then shamyati, put out. Even if you do not go to any forest, even if you light a simple lamp also, as long as the oil is there, wick is there, and it burns and burns, and then when everything is burnt, then what happens? By itself only it just put out. So that flames and all that fire what you saw, they disappear. In the same way, the gunas also, they rub against each other. Tamoguna is conquered by Rajoguna, then Rajoguna is conquered by Sattva-guna, then Sattva-guna then becomes Vichuddha Sattva-guna, and all the effects of all that burn, and Swayameva Shamyati. Evam Guna Vyatyayajaha Dehaha. The Deha, the body, Jaha, which is born of the Vyatyaya means the combinations of all the gunas, even that also Shamyati. And tat kriyaha, and all its activities and everything. Now here we must understand one thing. Our body appears to be continuing, isn't it? But the effects of the gunas, because of which we are feeling bound, all those effects are gone. This example must be understood. Otherwise people will be afraid of gaining knowledge. That if I gain, my body will be khatam. The upadhis, they continue, but the sense of bondage, sorrow, affliction, limitation and all, that ends. Sometimes another example is given. Suppose somebody is walking in the forest barefooted, and one thorn pricks his sole of his foot. He said that. Then what he does? He picks up another thorn only from there. And then he removes this thorn, which has gone inside, and then what happens? He throws both of them. Kaate se kaata nikalna. So all the effects of tamogun, rajogun removed by sattva, and that also gone. So in this way, it happens. Idea is, see, this same truth is put in different ways. That the sattva guna becomes Vishuddha sattva guna, and it merges Vishuddha Chaitanya, becomes one with it. That is one way of saying. The other is like the forest, the trees. The fire is created from those trees only, and that fire burns all of them. The effects are gone. So you do not worry about that. That's the meaning. Evam guna vyatyajaha dehaha shamyati, and tat kriyaha api and all activities, everything. So, one way Bhagavan has concluded his topic. But you know, Uddhava, he raises his hand. One question. You know why he does that? One reason is he knows that Bhagavan is going to depart from here soon. So, he wants to delay his departure as much as possible. So, that is one reason. We know that he was a Brihaspati Shishya. It is not difficult for him to all that. He was a Mukta, and Bhagavan said, you are me only. So, but he is asking question. So, one reason is he wants to remain with Bhagavan Sri Krishna as long as possible. And the best way is to go on asking questions. So, Bhagavan's departure will be delayed. That is one. Second is, see, he is asking for our sake. See, because we will have so many questions and all that, no? So, we have to thank that Uddhava that he keeps on asking questions. This is only 13th chapter, remember, the Uddhava Gita is concluded only in 29th. So, how many questions are asked? One more reason. Bhagavan also goes on answering. Bhagavan doesn't say, how many things you are going to ask, you know. You are an intelligent person and all that. Why are you asking? But Bhagavan also goes on answering. Because he also loves Uddhava very much. So, he also wants to spend time with him. And other thing is, Bhagavan has a plan that Uddhava has to remain here in this world to propagate this knowledge. Uddhava doesn't need so much of this learning, but if he remains here as a propagator, expounder, teacher, and variety of students will approach him, and when they ask questions and so many things, he should be able to answer all of them. These very interesting points are there. Because the Guru should be Shrotriya, Shastrajna. So, all questions that are possible, they are taken up here and answered. So, when we go on thinking in this way, then you see it is not very different. Because then Bhagavan said, now you go to Badrikashram and then your job is to teach. So, Bhagavan is equipping him, empowering him, blessing him. Anyway, now what is the question? When you listen to that question, you will feel how he has taken words from my mouth only and asking this question. Let us see. Uddhava uvacha. Now, Uddhava said, Bhagavan, vidanti martya prayena vishayan padamapadam tathapi bhunjate Krishna tatkatham shvakharajavat. Hey Krishna, Bhagavan, Krishna, because friends, they were friends also. Hey Krishna, my question is, whatever you have said up till now, it is not that many people do not know, it is not so. Vidanti martyaha prayena. Prayena means generally, those who are thinking people, those who don't think at all that, we are not talking about them. But those who have given you a little thought to it, or even attend more satsang, they also know martyaha, manavaha, all human beings, all persons, people, vidanti, they know. What do they know? Vishayan padamapadam. These vishayas, these sense objects, sound, color, taste, touch, form, right? Objects and their contact with them, and the pleasure and all different sensations that are experienced because of that. Sometimes they may be very pleasurable and all that, but there can be painful also. But the people as such, they say their memory, very short memory. So the pain, they forget very, that pleasure they will remember again they want that. So even they know these objects and pleasure are padam apadam. Apadam padam. Padam is sthanam. Is a place. Final place is what apadam. Apadam is all sorrow, difficulties, adversities, calamities, problems. Only Bhagavan's name is apadam apartaram. Bhagavan's name is that which takes away all the apadas. But these vishayas only, particularly those who are in between of viveki purushas, they know it. So in general, many people know it because they have been suffering. How many times they have experienced the same thing, so many times. Again, in the end, what was the end result? There was always sense of incompleteness only, and felt high and dry. There was never peace and all that. Of course, thrills were there, sensations were there, excitements were there, pleasures were there, comforts were there. But what we call that, fulfillment is never there. Tathapi bhunjate tat katham. In spite of knowing, tathapi still, tat katham bhunjate. Bhungte, bhunjate, bhunjate. Why these people again and again? See, we are not talking about ignorant people, totally ignorant. And they again and again go after that only. Like what? Shwa, khara, aja, what? Like shwa, means like a dog. Khara like a donkey. And aja means like a goat. In short, like animal. Do you know, if such a thing is here, animals also may protest. They say, why you are saying like? See, because they don't have vivek, so therefore they go by instincts and all that. Right? But here this person has got all reasoning capacity, and still if he does, so therefore say like them. Now see, whenever it is say like means what? Only the example should be looked at from only certain standpoint. It is not an insult of animals, please. Because the quality of dogs, loyalty, honesty, and so many kinds of qualities are there of dogs, and those who are dog lovers, if they hear this, they will get angry, but this is not an insult of any animal. The point is, this learned man, in spite of having this intellect and understanding, repeated experience, why does he do that? So, only some kind of similarity only we have to see there, not every kind of that. So, now for example, the dog, about dog it is said, you see, a dry bone, gets hold of some dry bone and goes on munching. Huh? And what his gums only starts bleeding. So the blood is coming from itself. But it does not know, thinks that it is coming from that bone, which is so dry and all that, there is no. And if that bone is taken away, gets angry and miserable. So again holding on. Idea is, all the vishayas, they are like bones. There is no happiness in it. There is no rasa in it. It is dry. whatever and ananda that we experience because of our sense objects and pleasure, or even your literature, art, music, science, even listening to Vedanta and all that, all ananda comes only from ourselves. But only Vedanta will tell you that this ananda is coming from yourself. Therefore, don't get attached to anything. That's called independence I was talking about. Sarvam atmavasham sukham. Then Vedanta will tell you, Baki, the other arts will never tell you that. So Vedanta is Pramana Raj. That this ananda is coming. So don't hold on to anything, don't get attached. Even those enlightened gurus also used to tell the disciples, don't get attached to me as a person. You must gain knowledge. So idea here at the moment is, generally we are talking about the sense, pleasure and all that. So it is like this dog. Or it doesn't have got any idea of honor, even if you throw just like that, you will go just like that also. He will catch that too. So we have become so beggarly, like, whichever way we can get sense pleasure, we try to get it and grab it. Acha, this is about dog. Donkey. About donkey it is said, I have not a very, what you call, animal observers and all that, but whatever is said, there is a karaha, means a donkey. Khari. Khari means female donkey. This donkey just loves that female donkey and goes after that. And that she goes on kicking. Ignoring, kicking, but फिर भी वो जाते रहता है, again and again goes there only. At least that dog doesn't tell to that doggy, not doggy, that donkey doesn't say any that female donkey, why are you so angry with me? I will get a necklace for you, but you just look at me. But this man, if he is in madly love with someone, that lady may not respond or anything. Why can't you appreciate how much I love you? What can I get you? I will get you stars from the sky. Stars from the sky. Get at least that rose flower from the garden. I will realize whether you can bring or not. No, I can't, because there is that gardener sitting there, gardener and watchman. How much we have heard and all that. फिर भी जाता रहता है. And Aja. Aja means a goat. Now it is said when a goat is taken even to the slaughterhouse, that goat knows that other one already being slaughtered, but usko grass is going, it doesn't realize that it is next in my number only. And still at that time also just wanting to eat that one. So, swasya maranapi na pashyati. Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam. You see that all the time, seeing death after death after death that is happening. But it doesn't strike us that ours is the next number also. Therefore, we should do what is to be done. See, some people say, we do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. Therefore, let us enjoy today only. What else? We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. But the wise man will say, we do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. Therefore, know the truth now. See the difference. The worldly minded, extroverted person would say, Kal kya ho, kisne jana? We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So enjoy pleasures. The other say, yes. We don't know what is going to happen next moment also. Therefore, know this truth and enjoy the real bliss, not this illusory bliss. Vidanti martya prayena vishayan padamapadam tathapi bhunjate Krishna tat katham shvakharajavat. This apada sthanam only, these are the causes of all sorrow, places of all sorrows. They end only in that. Knowingly, again it goes there also. So the beautiful shloka is there. Apadam apahartaram dataram sarvasampadam lokabhiramam Sri Ramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham. So we go on doing namaskar again and again. Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhagavan Ramchandraji, who is what? Apadam apahartaram. He is the remover of all these adversities, calamities. Apadam apahartaram. Dataram sarvasampadam, and the bestower of all real spiritual wealth, that freedom. The beautiful thing are there. All right. Now, Uddhav, thank you very much for asking this question, I was also thinking, why is that my mind, So we should not think, why some people do have, we have to see where we are. Where we are, we have to think. Bhagavan says, all right, you have asked the question, so I have to tell you the answer. So, now we will just read the shloka, because we will have to explain tomorrow. Just simple translation I will give. Bhagavan has answered this in few shlokas actually. So that is the beauty of it. It is not like an objective type of concern, yes, no, answer. No, when question is asked, threadbare, Bhagavan will answer thoroughly. So he answered. So let us see first one. Shri Bhagavan uvacha ahamityanyatha buddhihi pramattasya yatha hridi utsarpati rajo ghoram tato vaikarikam manaha. Actually, the answer simple is you should answer the question. You know this, isn't it? It is an apadasthanam. Why do you go? No, Bhagavan, you should tell me why I do this foolish thing. You are doing foolish thing and I have to explain. Yeah. So Bhagavan says, the reason is pramatta. That's all the answer. One answer is that. Person who is pramatta. Pramatta has got many meaning. Ignorant, indulgent, careless, inadvertent. Such a person, then what happens in his hridi, in his heart, and this buddhi arises. Ahamiti anyata buddhi. The wrong notion that this body is me. That arises. Then utsarpati rajo ghoram, and then arises that terrible rajo guna. And then vaikarikam manaha. Thereafter the mind undergoes so many kind of modifications because of this rajo guna. Now this answer he himself expounds. So we will see it tomorrow. We will see this shloka also and explanation which Bhagavan himself has given. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam mama. Sharanam mama. Sharanam mama. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.